This is my new favorite healthy dessert. Of course, using cottage cheese. So to my food processor, I'm adding a half cup of cottage cheese. Next, I'm gonna take some peanut butter. So I like this one. I get it at Whole Foods, but there's a similar one at Trader Joe's and Costco, but the only ingredients are organic dry roasted peanuts. So we're gonna take a 1/4 cup of it. Okay, that should be good. And we're just gonna add that into our food processor. Grab my spatula here. You guys were saying in the comments on some of my other recipes, you were waiting for the peanut butter because in a lot of recipes I use peanut butter. I know, I am a peanut butter lover, so it does show up in a lot of my dessert recipes. Next, we're gonna take some almond flour. You could also use oat flour if you want, but I wanna keep these a little bit lower carb, so I am using almond flour. So we're gonna add about a half cup. These are seriously so good. I made them on Monday and they are phenomenal. My new favorite treat. So I figured I needed to share them with you guys so that you can make them at home too. Okay, next we're just gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract, probably about a teaspoon. And I think that is everything. So I am just going to put the top on my food processor. And I need to plug it in, and we are just going to blend this up. We have another step after this, so just wait and see. All right, we're gonna pulse until smooth. There we go. Okay, I just realized I forgot one important ingredient. We are gonna add about 2 tablespoons of honey or sweetener of choice. Here's 1. And here's 2. You could do maple syrup. You could do a keto sweetener if you want. Something like powdered monk fruit would be great in this. But I'm just using honey today. Okay, now we can blend again. Okay, perfect. When I made this the first time, I actually made it in a blender, and I feel like it's a lot easier in the food processor. You can use a blender, but I just think the food processor is easier. So I'm gonna remove our blade. And as you can see, our batter right now is really sticky. So I am gonna actually go ahead and set this in the freezer for probably just like 15 to 30 minutes whenever I check on it, just so it'll be a little bit easier to work with in our next step. Okay, I just took our peanut butter cottage cheese mixture out of the freezer. I actually ended up leaving it in the freezer for almost an hour, maybe 45 minutes. Because I got distracted doing things, but it is perfect now. It'll be a lot easier to work with. So here I have a tray lined with some parchment paper. I'm just gonna take my cookie scoop and scoop out our dough here. Ugh, I need to get a new cookie scoop. I keep forgetting this one is not cooperating lately. So we are actually just gonna go ahead and kind of roll these by hand. I will say they're still a little bit sticky, but just a lot easier to work with after freezing. So we're just gonna roll all of the mixture into balls and place it on our tray. And we'll just repeat this until we've used up all of our peanut butter cottage cheese mixture. Once you've formed all of your cottage cheese peanut butter balls, you're gonna take some chocolate. This is a half cup of chocolate chips with about a teaspoon of coconut oil. And you're just gonna take each ball and dip it into the chocolate. And I like to kind of wipe off the excess on the side of the bowl and just repeat with each ball. So these are higher protein because of the cottage cheese and the almond flour. They contain good healthy fats from the almond flour, and they are much lower sugar than a typical dessert like this. So they are definitely a healthier option. I've been loving them. After lunch, I kind of crave something sweet, and these have been the perfect little sweet tooth fix for after lunch or as a pre-workout snack. One more. There we go. And then I'm just gonna kind of take the extra and cover any fork marks. Just think there's a couple. Looks like we missed a spot there. All right, perfect. Okay, of course we are gonna take some flaky sea salt because you guys know I love salt with my chocolate. And we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit on top of each ball. And now we're gonna go ahead and just set these back in the freezer until the chocolate sets, probably about 30 minutes, just so they're a nice, good consistency and won't be too messy. Okay, let our peanut butter cup cottage cheese balls chill in the freezer for maybe like 15, 30 minutes. And look at how good they look. So let's go ahead and do a taste test. Look at that texture, you guys. It's almost like a peanut butter cookie dough covered in chocolate. You actually don't taste the cottage cheese at all in this recipe. So if you're not a fan of cottage cheese, or if someone you're gonna serve them to is not a fan, they will not even be able to tell there's cottage cheese in here. They're so good. Let me know in the comments if you'll give these protein peanut butter cup cottage cheese balls a try.